This week's Priority Waivers.
Number one on the list, Joe Flacco, Mr. Elite himself. It would have been cool if he, started for someone I like or has weapons because he's been freaking doing well. This is a revival for David Njoku. He's been balling out ever since Joe Flacco's taken over. Flacco is precise. I wonder now I know why they didn't stay with PJ Walker because I was very upset that they didn't stay with PJ Walker. But the guy should be rostered if you had a CJ Stroud or Justin Herbert. Completion percentage isn't great, but he's slinging it. 300 yards last week, 21 points. He had 17.2 the week before that. 5 touchdowns since he's come back, 2 interceptions. You like to see it. You love to see it. He's someone that can get you a solid 15 points either way, but he has that upside where he can get you 20, 25 because he's a veteran and he has playmakers on his team.
Yeah, this is definitely somebody that you should be snagging if you have a guy like Kenny Pickett who was hurt last week. He's likely not going to play again this week against the Colts. Joe Flacco has 5 touchdowns, as Josh said. Kenny Pickett all season has 6 touchdowns. If you are starting Kenny Pickett for whatever reason, or you have him on your roster waiting for him to come back, you might as well just drop him, pick up Joe Flacco. That's your replacement. If you have Justin Herbert or CJ Stroud, I think Joe Flacco will get you some points this week. Going up against the Bears, then the Texans, those two are pretty good matchups. The only thing is week 17 in the championship, he goes up against the Jets. So we'll see how that does for him.
Joe Flacco?
For Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco. That's awful. Against the Jets, and you might need to lean
revenge game right here, right?
You need to lean to the next guy on our list then if that's the case, because we're talking Mr. This hurts to say because this guy only has 9 touchdowns on the year. Desmond Ridder, 10% rostered. I picked him up in a my home league, and he's been balling out for me ever since. He does get the rushing yards. He does get, he does pass. He had a spectacular game throwing it to Drake London last week. They are playing the Panthers this week, who are god-awful against everything. They're just really, really bad at football. So going into Carolina, Sunday, 1 o'clock, I like Desmond Ridder in this matchup a lot. He's the guy I would go for over Flacco, to be completely honest with you. I think he has more upside. He's not going to lose that job. They already went to Heineke, and Heineke was god-awful trash, like beyond trash. Heineke wasn't the guy we thought he was going to be. I like Desmond Ridder. Why are you giving me that look? You don't like Ridder?
I'm not sure I agree fully here. This is one of those, especially with this matchup against the Panthers. The Panthers actually are a top 10 unit against quarterbacks in fantasy football this year. Everything else sucks. Well, fantasy quarterbacks do not score a lot of points, only 13 points average for the season against the quarterback position. It is a tough matchup. However, if you get through this week, you're looking at the Colts and the Bears, and those two teams do give up fantasy points to the quarterback right there in the middle of the range. But with Desmond Ridder coming off of a hot week against the Buccaneers, I expect him to finally get moving. This is a divisional game too, so these teams are going to play harder against each other. Maybe they actually do get Bijan Robinson in some dump offs and get this whole team going. Desmond Ridder also was a big benefactor this last week from Drake London, getting like 1 million receptions in 2,000 yards in a single game. It's a big game for the entire team. I just don't know if that's going to be the same thing for the Panthers this week.
I said Desmond Ridder's been balling out. That's a lie. He hasn't been balling out. He balled out the times I started him. I just want to make that clear for all you incels out there. He's balled out for me in spot starts, and that's all I care. I wasn't starting him against the Giants. Jets. I wasn't starting him against the Saints. No way. But I was in plus matchups like Washington, Houston, Tampa Bay. I was starting him, and every time he played Washington, Tampa Bay, Washington, he did really well. Over 19 points in the majority of them. The only time was he didn't score 19 points or above was in week 7 against Tampa Bay, 13.8. I think even though Carolina, I think the reason why people don't score a lot on Carolina, these quarterbacks, because they get up and they just run it. Atlanta's not good enough to just get up and run it. They're not good enough.
That's fair.
So it's going to be a competition. It's going to be a hard-fought game. What do you do against Carolina the first time? Week 1, 8.9 points, but he only threw the ball like Nothing, never. He didn't even throw the ball. He had 115 yards passing, 1 passing touchdown, no rushing yards. Seems like they did barely use him, but 83.3 completion percentage. It's pretty good. I'd say it's pretty good. But yeah, Desmond Ridder, I think I would take him over Joe Flacco in the long run. And that's just a hot take from me because I like the matchups going forward. Hot take.
Hot take, Josh, over
Hot
here.
take.
Okay.
All right, let's answer some questions.
Am I cutting out to you? Like,
Yeah,
on my
you've been
side,
cutting out.
God, my internet is god awful. Everybody watching this show, I'm so sorry today.
You've been cutting out the whole time, and I didn't know if it was me or you, so I just went with it. I'm a professional.
Usually you cut out on me, so I'm just like, well, I'll just keep going. But then I'm like seeing my like video just lagging all over the place. It's a mess. Anyways, next guy.
Well, let's answer some of these questions real quick before they leave. Ronald McDonald, of course. That's a lot.
That is a lot. I'm a 10-4 team. Okay, I'm a 10-4 team, 1 seed with Brock Purdy, Kyler Murray, QB, wide receiver. Oh, that's his QB. His wide receivers are Gabe Davis, Calvin Ridley, Romeo Dobbs, Josh Downs, running backs Travis Etienne, Jerome Ford, Javonte Williams, and tight end Jake Ferguson. Thoughts? I mean, you're the first place team, so
I wish I was in your league. I wish I was in your league because my team is way better than that, and I was 7-7 and missed the playoffs. Sorry, not sorry. Gabe Davis is a 0. Calvin Ridley is up and down. Dobbs is a, and Josh Downs. Your receivers are god awful, but you make up for it in your running back position. Etienne's been fire. Brock Purdy's been unreal. I cannot believe I was so wrong on Brock Purdy. I remember I traded Brock Purdy last offseason to Jacob, and I thought I got over. I was laughing. I'm like, this guy believes in Brock Purdy. What a moron. Trey Lance is the best. This is before the Trey Lance thing. And boy, was I.
You were big on Trey Lance this offseason.
Joke's on me, man. Joke's on me. You. Hey, I can admit when I'm wrong. Not often, but I can. Anyway, who's the next guy?
Chase Brown.
This guy, I did not believe in him coming into the season, coming into this week. I know people were hot on him saying, hey, you should pick him up. Rostered in 7% of leagues, so nobody listened. He looks fast. He looks better than Joe Mixon, although Joe Mixon scored, I think, 5 touchdowns in the past 7 weeks. Joe Mixon's been on fire himself, but every time Brown's on the field, which isn't often, right? He only had 13.7 snap shares the week before. Not so much against Indianapolis. He only had 3 targets, 3 catches, 105 yards, though, and a touchdown. He can make plays. I really like him, and I feel like if you roster Joe Mixon, that's why he's on this list, you need Chase Brown. If you need help, if you have like a Kenneth Walker or somebody that's really questionable or you don't know if they're going to play or not, I'm not saying put him in there, but he is getting opportunities. He had 8 carries. 8 carries last week, 3 targets. I can't do math real quick. That's 12, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 opportunities, which for a running back, 11 opportunities is pretty good. It's pretty good. So
the stats are like right there.
Oh, I can't. Listen, I don't have multiple screens like you, right?
I'm only on one screen right now.
My mother's basement, we're a lot more poor over here.
Oh,
I only have one computer and they're split. I got split screens.
I'm looking at it. Okay. Get a bigger basement, get some more screens in your basement.
Be better, huh? Be better.
Better.
But I do like Chase Brown moving forward. 7% roster, like I said. Again, you're holding on to a Jerry Jeudy who's doing 0 for you, or someone like that. Josh Downs who's doing 0 for you. Why not grab? He's doing 0. He's not doing great. He's been okay, but listen. I'm not attacking you. I'm just attacking like if you want 7 points, cool. You could also get 7 points from Chase Brown and a backup. And if Joe Mixon goes down, you get an explosive running back. That's all I'm saying. He's more value. He holds more value than these wide receiver 4s and 5s that you're just rostering for no reason. Do you have anything to add?
I have nothing to add. I like Chase Brown. I actually drafted him in 2 dynasty leagues this year, so sitting pretty right now.
Sitting pretty. Next guy on the list, we have Mr. Zay Jones. The poor man's Christian Kirk. This guy came out week 1 and had a really exciting week, and I was really worried for Christian Kirk because I remember pounding my fist on this desk, the same desk, telling you all, Christian Kirk is the number one receiver on that team. Week 1, and he was not. And I was worried that I was wrong. But it came out, I was right. Christian Kirk was the main target. Christian Kirk had the highest target share. Christian Kirk was that dude. But now he's hurt, and now he's out. And Zay Jones is going to fill in. I'm not saying he's going to be the number one guy there. I'm not saying he's going to even be better or out on par with your boy Christian Kirk. I'm just telling you, 14 targets, you got to look at that. Trevor Lawrence, I told you guys in the offseason, that's why it was not high on Calvin Ridley. He loves to check down. He is like one of the lowest yards per attempt in the NFL. He likes these little slants. He likes these little crossing routes, and that's what Zay Jones is going to run. 8 targets the week before against Cincinnati. He's not going away. Now, you want to see these come up to receptions. He only had 5 back-to-back weeks. You want to see that improve, actually catch the ball. But, you want to see the opportunities. Who else can you get that has 14 targets? Who had 14 targets last week? Can you name anyone? I'm sure there was, but I didn't see it.
I didn't watch NFL this last weekend, so.
Wow, neither did I. I'm just kidding. Watch a little bit. I've been sick, people. And plus,
I don't think even Drake London had 14 targets, and he had 10 receptions. So
target leaders, week 14. I should have done this research before, man.
You can't ask a question and then not already have the answer.
Well, that's what I do. I thought you had it. I thought you had the answers.
If the answer's not on this screen right now, I don't have it. I'm sorry.
So CD had 17. Is that true? Is this true? No.
He had a lot, and then he did not hit his over, right? That can't be right. So Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper, and Zay Jones had 14 targets this last week.
There you go. He's on this. If you're on the same level as those elite talents, come on, you got to get picked up.
He had probably did. So that's 27 in between the two of them. Evan Ingram had 12 targets. That is your top 6 target leaders for the week. The Jaguars have 3 of the 6.
And I like that. So Zay Jones is on my. That's why he's on my list. Next guy. Unless you have something to add about Zay Jones.
My only worry is that he got 14 targets, but he only caught 5 of them. So he dropped 9 balls, or just he didn't receive 9 balls.
Dropped?
He only had 29 yards. That's not great. That's 7.9 points. I mean, I guess that's better than Josh Downs and stuff like that, but we're looking at targets, and targets is what matters. So as long as he catches half of those targets, then we're looking good.
Yes. Next guy on our list, and the last guy on our list, is a wide receiver out of Baltimore, Odell Beckham. He's back, 42%. He's actually looked good.
This is wrong. I'm so sorry.
Wow.
Last week, I was like, wait, Odell did not have 14 targets also? This is crazy.
Did he have 14 targets? No, I'm just kidding. No, Odell Beckham, he did have that long touchdown. It seems like he is becoming more of a factor than I thought he was going to be. I was really down on Odell. I'm not going to lie. But he had 10 targets. Yeah, we all were. 10 targets, 4 catches, 97 yards. Again, double-digit targets from an offense that doesn't really throw the ball a ton. He had 4 catches, 97 yards, that long touchdown. He is getting more involved. They're going to have to get him more involved. His next matchup is Jacksonville, then San Fran, then Miami. I like those a lot, especially the Jacksonville, especially the Miami. We all saw Miami last night get exposed as the frauds they are on the Finstock Sports Network. I'm saying that. God, that made me so mad.
They're all frauds.
Yeah, everyone. Eagles.
How are you up 14 points with 4 minutes left in the game and lose?
Hey, Will Levis. Have you ever eaten a banana peel?
Listen, I'm so done with the banana peel. That was all over Good Morning Football today. Will Levis won angry runs because of that stupid freaking run. There were so many better ones, but he won it because of the banana peel.
Yeah, because he's a beast. He's jacked. He's the most jacked quarterback that ever lived. Gotta respect that. But back to Odell Beckham. Someone's got to catch the ball on this team. Zay Flowers has been great. He's been special, but he's dropping a ton of balls, and his opportunities are going down week after week. We thought Rashad Bateman was a guy, but he's not. He's just a guy. He's not the guy. He's just a guy. Oh, you like him, huh?
No, Zay Flowers had 10 targets, 6 receptions, and 20 points last week. Also, he had 23 points the week before. He's
But
not
he also
dropping.
he's been dropping balls. I've been watching him because I'm invested in him. He's been dropping a lot of balls. That's what I meant.
Oh, but Zay Jones is okay.
Zay
He dropped
Jones
9.
is getting bad targets, but they're targets. Zay Jones, listen, I love Zay Jones. I really do. But the problem with Zay Jones is, again, he had 2 touchdowns in a week, so you're telling me he's touchdown dependent to get those fantasy points. He had 25 receiving yards in week 12 and 60 last week. So he is I'm going to catch the ball at the line of scrimmage and get 3 yards. Luckily, those 2 touchdowns saved him in back-to-back weeks. I will say that. Take those 6 points away, then we're looking at a different player. Back to his 8 points, 12 points, 2 points, 6 points, the way he's been. Yes, he scored 2 touchdowns. That's great. I can't take those away from him. But again, 5 catches for 25 yards in week 12. That's good.
I mean, no, but he's still getting 20-something points from it.
Yeah,
are you dropping Pickens too after last week?
I've been drop Pickens. I really have.
Yeah, he's been pretty trash this year. He had a good start, and then that offense sucks.
Just because of the situation. Pickens has not been in my starting lineup or on my rosters if I don't have to. Pickens is hit that list of, do I really want the 5 points on my team, or do I want to ensure my backup running back?
Isn't it weird that the Steelers, we saw 1 week where Deontay Johnson just didn't even run for a fumble, and then the next 2 weeks he scored 13 plus fantasy points and is actually getting targeted. He's gotten touchdowns, but George Pickens hasn't gotten like anything.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's wild. That whole offense is wild. I don't want to touch anyone on that offense, whether it be Deontay, whether it be Pickens or Warren anymore. Ever since Canada's been gone, Warren hasn't been the same. I just don't know what's going on with that offense. Hey, maybe Baker can go there. Start, right?
That's what we said.
Yeah, maybe Baker can go to Pittsburgh. He's a starter. He's elite. Right? Hold on. Is it this one?
When I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
Hey, man, we're all Baker fans over here. Go Baker.